Oh, it's a bit of a big one. Today we're going to see if we can paint all 9 of these blood claws in one sitting. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Paul and I'm feeling pretty confident with the Space Wolves now. I've got a good recipe down that I like. I've got a good pattern, good base layer, some highlights, so I feel quite comfortable. And I thought I'd really push that comfort and that confidence and see if we could paint 9 Space Wolves in one setting. I thought, do you know what? It's the weekend. My partner's at work all day. I've got about 9-10 hours of like free time. Let's just see if we can lock in and just paint all of them in one sitting, which sounds like a fun idea. I'm sure it's going to come crashing down on me in about an hour or two when the reality sets in. But you know what? It's fun to challenge ourselves and it'll be a cool, interesting thing to do. But yeah, we'll just get straight in because I can imagine this video is going to be quite long. So yeah, let's just start painting. So here they are, all 9 of our boys, all built and primed in a ghoul grey. So what we're going to start off with is Russ grey for the base layer. And then after that, we're going to move on to some highlights. I did try the contrasting look recently, but I wasn't a massive fan of it. Right, we've got the paint already. Here's the timer, just here, 8 hours. Let's begin, shall we? Da-da-da. Oh my god, that took so much longer than I thought. Oh, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. So there they are, all 9 of them done. They're all here, they're all got one shoddy base coat. I'm sure I've missed lots of sections, like I can already see I forgot the helmet on this one. You might have noticed as well, there's little black markings on them, small little numbers, like a 7 and a 4. We'll get to that later, what that means. But, so I said I've got a recipe I like down, and that is courtesy of this poor guy here. This is my tester model. You might be able to see he's got all sorts of different stuff, like this knee, for example, is just rust grey. The back of this leg is just Space Wolves contrast. There's mixes. Some sections are dry brush, some are edge highlights. Like this poor abomination's been through the works. But his suffering was not in vain. We've got something we like out of it. So I worked out this section here is my favourite. And what this is rust grey, like we've done now. And then it's a layer of Space Wolves contrast on top with some Corax white edge highlights. I did originally have Fenrisian grey, but I just felt like you couldn't see it. Like I felt like the Fenrisian grey proper blended into the rust grey. And it was like, why am I even highlighting it when you can't even see the edge highlights? So I tried a off-white, the Corax, and I really like it, you know? I really like how bright and bold it is along all the model. It makes it proper stand out and pop, especially when you have the Space Wolves grey contrast over the top, because that darkens down the armour and the recesses a bit. So it's like a good combination of like popping edge highlights, dark recesses, and like a cool shade on the armour. So that's what we're going to do next. We've got, so yeah, I've kind of done it already. You can see here on his left leg, I put a layer of Space Wolves contrast over the top. And yeah, you can see it kind of really sits in those recesses. So rather than having to go around and recess shade after doing another second layer, you kind of do 2 in 1. You get like that second layer and a little recess shade, and then we can jump straight to the highlights. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to quickly chuck on some Space Wolves grey contrast over all of the armour bits, and then move on to some edge highlighting. One thing I will say that's quite funny is normally when I paint these models and I'm doing the base layer, I'm kind of looking around at the things I'm painting and being like, oh, I can't wait to paint this section, I can't wait to do that section. It's almost like exciting to like get a little preview of the model and the things you're going to paint while you're doing the base coats. But it's the exact opposite with these guys. I'm looking at sections and I'm just like, oh my god, that's going to be awful to do like 9 times over on the time limit. It's quite funny to have the exact opposite reaction to what I normally have. Like I was looking at all this armour and like normally I'm like, oh, I'm getting quite good at edge highlighting, so I'm quite excited to try out these new edge highlight colours and really give it a go and make it pop. But now I'm looking at all these edges and I'm like, oh my god, I've got to do this over and over and over. Oh no, what have I done? Alright, let's sweep these 9 boys on over here. How many are going to fall over? Oh, none of them, look at that. Looking cool, nice and smooth. I can see, yeah, there you go. This is a perfect example on his chest there. So it's had a nice tint of a colour, and also like the shades underneath all the little crevices in the legs there. What about around the back? It's a little bit too dark on the back of his leg, but that's whatever. But yeah, some sections it's really added like some proper depth to it in the hand there, which is what we wanted the contrast to do. We wanted it to sort of like darken the colours down a little bit, just so the edge highlights that we're about to do contrast quite well, and also sit in the recesses. So next up, I kind of want to just do the armour ribbons. We have still got the edge highlighting to do, but just before then, I like to do the armour ribbons, just as you can see here, it proper fills in the model. Because like at the minute, it's just a big blob of like 2 different shades of grey, and then when I feel like when I do the edge highlighting, it doesn't really like progress the model. Like I know it does, but mentally I'm like, still a big blob of grey. Whereas I feel like when I do the armour ribbons, just personally, like it adds a lot to the model and proper brings it in. So we'll quickly do the armour ribbons black, and then we'll bust out the Corax white for some edge highlighting. I will say I did just have a cheeky 15-minute break after that last little recording session, because God, I needed it. Oh my God. I was getting a little bit antsy sitting in this chair for like an hour and a half just painting. So I went and had some ice cream, played with the dog. I think it's helped rejuvenate me a little bit, because yeah, I was getting a little bit burnt out, putting layers and layers and layers of grey over the armour. But I think doing some details would be good, just because there's a little bit more like to think about, a little bit more delicacy, and it kind of adds a lot to the model. I find the base layer is a little bit monotonous at times. So next up is the big scary one, Corax white edge highlighting. There's a lot of boys here and a lot of trims and edges to highlight. Oh, let's just not waffle on and get stuck in. We're on 5 hours and 55 minutes. So making good progress, but this is going to be the killer, I think. Yeah, I was completely right. This edge highlighting is going to kill me. No. So that, this is one do, December 1. It took me 16 minutes, I think it was, which doesn't sound like a lot. It's probably an okay amount of time to do for edge highlighting, but I didn't do all of it. There's some sections like just down here, to be fair, which I could have done like the knee, this little bit, some brown sections and some bits on the back. But I quite like this being like recessed and dark. I don't know. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is 16 minutes, and I've got 8 more to do. It's about 2 hours. It's about 2 hours of just edge highlighting, which will take me down to like 3 hours and 40 minutes, which is rough. So I even need to pick up the pace a little bit, which is probably not doable because I've already made, you can see here, so many like big splodging mistakes on that neck, the inner arm, around the back. Oh, I even missed a section here. I didn't highlight this one. So let's just drop this guy to the one side. Where's number 2? Here he is. I mean, one thing also I find really difficult about edge highlighting isn't the actual application. It's like filming and editing it. It's so hard sometimes because it's like, it takes ages. I'm constantly flipping about, and then when I'm doing it, I'm just spinning the guy around like this because I want to, like, get in this angle and get in there and do this. So like, it's kind of hard to film sometimes. But I feel like we've got a good amount of footage showing off edge highlighting with this guy. So for the rest of the 9, I'll probably just kind of do the ambient stuff of putting the camera around the office and time-lapsing. I'm going to be real with you, I can't edge highlight anymore. I'm done. I've been doing this for like 2 hours. And it's getting to the point where like, this one I'm doing at the minute, number 6, it's bad. Like, look at that chest. I kind of went a bit mental on it because I just lost all like patience and attention. I'm just burnt out with edge highlighting. So what I'm going to do, I've got 2 more. I'm going to try dry brushing them just to get some colour on them because, yeah, like I said, I'm at that point now where I'm like, if I have to highlight another edge, oh my god, I'm going to throw myself off the edge. That's it, that's the highlighting done. And annoyingly, I probably should have just done dry brushing from the start. I should have just done what I do on the Black Templars, which is a base coat, dry brush, and then I put some Nuln Oil. What I could have done with these was rust grey, dry brush, and then the Space Wolves contrast I put over anyway. So yeah, I need to put some stuff on him, because at the minute, yeah, like I mentioned, my wet palette's got like 3 colours on it, and it's like I've been painting for 4 hours. So yeah, let's get some colour on him. Let's get the chest aquila, the belt, and the weapons, and any extras they've got on their knees. Yeah, I want to leave the shoulders to be like a whole thing, because some of them have got like wraps on their shoulder, and I don't want to fill them in and then do the shoulders over the top. So we'll do chest, belt, weapons, and trinkets. Cool. Before we do that though, just an update on this process. I definitely wouldn't do this again. It's so much more stressful than I thought. I thought I was like, yeah, I'm good, I can do this, it'll be really fun. I can take a big challenge. I've been doing this for ages now. No, this has mentally killed me. It's only been 4 hours and like, some of these guys don't look great. And I think putting myself under the time constraint isn't doing well. We'll see how it goes on further and further and see if the colour helps, but I'm not feeling great about it. This is definitely more my pace, just tearing through details left, right and centre. It's making me feel a little bit better, but I can see all of the problems and imperfections. Even as I'm doing this, I'm noticing like areas I've missed. So yeah, I think that we'll go into it more at the end, but yeah, I don't think this was a good idea. Oh, that's more like it. Making some progress there. Maybe about 10-15 minutes max. I did the Aquilas and all of them. Let's grab, I don't know, this dude here. Nope, he hasn't got an Aquila. Of course not. Let's grab number 2 because he's the most excessive with the edge highlights. Yeah, so we've done the Aquila, we've done the belt. So I just want to add some more details on. I think the weapons and the shoulders are actually kind of the last details to do before we move on to other stuff. Oh, they've got the things in their legs as well. I did say I was going to do them first, but I kind of want to get these shoulders done just because they're so large and add so much. So I am going to quickly do the shoulders as well. They are coming together. I do think I've been a little bit excessive with the edge highlighting on some of them though. It's so extra. So I did actually allude to it earlier as to what the numbers mean. So I guess I can spill the beans now. First of all, I just thought it'd be easier to label them all so I know, like this is number 1, this is number 4, just for reference. And but what I wanted to do is I really wanted to do all of them in the same order. So like when I do, for example, these shoulders, I don't want to just grab a here and there random. I wanted to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and work my way through, because when I did the neophytes, I noticed that by the time I got to number 4 with some of the details, for example, the shoulders, it was getting a lot better. You know, like number 1 was a little bit sloppy, but number 4 was like, I was kind of getting the hang of the shoulders and it was getting better. So I wanted to see if doing 9 had a similar effect, you know, like if number 1, here's a details are a little bit messy, a little bit bad, and then as I do more and more and more, do they get better and better, to get cleaner and smoother? Or, because I've got 9 of them, is it the opposite? Do I start off with lots of focus and attention, and then as the models get further and further into the depths of 7, 8 and 9, they just start to get really sloppy as I lose my focus and attention? So that was why I did these numbers. So like we've just done number 1 here. Let's look for number 2. There he is. I've kind of learned which ones are which now. Let's carry on with these shoulders, making them all red and yellow, and then we can put on some transfers. Look at all these boys. Oh my god, it's like a unit of them. All matching shoulder pads. So yeah, the book does say the blood claws have yellow shoulder pads, right? So they got the left one is yellow with some red markings on, and the right one has got like the, what's it called? The company, that's it, the Great Company. But in one of my earlier videos I mentioned that I really like the look of the Death Wolves. I love the idea of this like wolf howling at the star. It looks so cool. But my issue was, I read up on it and it said that the Death Wolf shoulder pad is red. So I didn't want to do it on the blood claws because the blood claws already have a red shoulder, so it'd be red and red. And I like the contrast of the two colours. So when I saw that the blood claws actually have a yellow shoulder pad, I thought, perfect. We're going to slap the other one red and make a Death Wolf Great Company. I need to cut out 9 of these things now. Oh my god, let's actually make some proper room. Because my desk is an absolute state at the minute, as you can imagine. 6 hours, oh not 6, god, what is it, 5 hours deep. Cool, so we've got 9 of these and we can slap them on the shoulders. Just the same as always, if you've not done it before, it is put a layer of microset down on the shoulder pad. Well, you cut this out first and then put some water on it to make it loose. Put some microset on the shoulder pad and then slide the transfer off. Like a glove, and then we just have to move it around in the position we want, which is going to be a nightmare. It's quite a big transfer, wow. Yeah, that looks really cool, I like that. Even better on the model than it looks on the transfer sheet. Sometimes it's hard to see with the light on, just because of the reflection, but yeah, that looks really cool. Oh, I'm a big fan of that. Cool, so we'll do this 8 more times, and then I think we should be able to move on to something else. Right, slight update. We've got 2 hours and 57 minutes of painting time left, and I will specifically say painting time because I've had to take some breaks here and there for like mental clarity and stability. I had to walk the dog, had to have dinner and stuff like that, so it's actually midnight. I've been painting for I've had like 5 hours of painting time over the course of this afternoon, and it's felt like an eternity, honestly, but we've made some good progress tonight. I think we failed the 1 sitting challenge. Like, I don't think I can do it all in one solid session. But in terms of the 8 hours painting time, maybe we can still do it. I don't know. Let's just grab a random dude. So like I'm looking at, and we've got the transfers done. Transfers looking good. I will say I'm not 100% happy about them so far. I think this challenge has been a bit detrimental to the quality of them. Like I've rushed a little bit, so they're a little bit hit and miss. They're not as good as they could have been. But I think just as a midpoint update, or like 2/3 of the way, I'd say, yeah, maybe this wasn't the best idea. So yeah, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm shattered and I've got some paint on my watch. Uh-oh. Oh shit. Look at that. Looks like Mournfang brown. So I'm going to go try and get this paint off my watch, go to bed, and then tomorrow morning we'll see if we can crack out the rest of everything in 2 hours, 57 minutes and 49 seconds. I believe in us. I believe we can do it. Oh, right, this morning I'm refreshed, ready to start again. Before we hit start on this timer though, woken up with clarity and I think, what on earth have I done to these poor models? Like, some of the highlighting on this is just over the top and so bold and in your face. I don't know if white was a good idea, especially with how like sloppy I've been with some of the highlights. We'll get to that at the end though, but yeah, not feeling too confident on excessive amount of white. So that's all of the shoulder pad decals done, and yeah, just to look over the decal itself, I absolutely love it. I definitely prefer it from this yellow one. I can't remember what this is called, but this, yeah, I love that, the wolf howling at the star, and I quite like that the blood claws are like yellow and red, and then the grey hunters are the opposite. They're like red and yellow. It's quite cool. So next up, I just want to do the trim of the shoulder pads. I purposefully didn't do them when I was doing the base layers because I was like, when I do these reds and yellows, it's going to be real messy and all over the place. But that yellow's not too bad. But that red, you can see, yeah, it's all over the place. So I'm just going to fill in all of the trim on the shoulder pads, and then also I need to do this decal on the shoulder. I say decal, it's actually just a freehand pattern. One thing I am doing while I go around the trim of these shoulders, because I'm just using rust grey for the trim, I'm also dialing back on some of these highlights, and it's kind of working out accidentally quite well. So you can kind of see there on his armour, the chest's so thick, so I'm just kind of going over a little bit of rust grey to dial it back. But what's also happening is because the armour is rust grey and contrast, the armour is quite dark, a little bit darker than just rust grey on its own. So as I'm dialing back on the highlights, the rust grey on its own is also kind of acting like an edge highlight. Like not edge, sorry, a chunky highlight. So I'm kind of getting that layering of like the contrast as the dark base, and then the rust grey is kind of like a chunky highlight, and then just the white as like a real edge, like a bright bold edge highlight. On some sections anyway, where it's gone a bit messy. Like some stuff, it's not too bad, but like around here, it's a little bit messy. So I'm just trying to dial back some of the bold white highlights because it's really bright. Let's see how that goes. I will say this shoulder situation is the perfect example of why I did the numbers. So like, if we take number 2, one of the ones I did really early on, there you go, not horrendous, fairly in the lines, pretty tame. Obviously none of them are perfect, just little like spatterings. But then if you take number 7, which is like one of the last ones, I definitely lost my patience. It's like, you can see that it's proper bled into the red. What about on this side? This side's not too bad, but then you pick up like this is number 8, yeah. Oh yeah, like bleeding over in on the yellow there. He's not got a trim on that side. But it's just funny to see like my theory be kind of true. Like there is a difference between 1 and 8. And it's, yeah, where I lose like motivation, focus, or get impatient, I'm not sure. So the final touch on the shoulder colour situation is just that red stripe. There's 2 red claws, and I think it's just Mephiston. I'll double check some tutorials, but yeah, see if we can do some freehand. Oh no, I've messed up. I've just realised. Oh, I've done 5 of them. Oh no. Okay, let's go to the book. I've just realised they don't come from the bottom of the shoulder pad. They come from the side. So like, look, especially you can see this one here. They don't come from like the bottom to the top. They go from left to right. Oh, then let's have a review. Oh no. So he should be going across. For some reason, I've just like, it goes this way across. Oh no, let's have a look at them one sec. Yeah, this guy was right. Number 2's fine. Number 4's wrong. Right, how many wrong ones have we done? Number 1's right. Okay, so it's just 2. We've just done 2 wrong. I painted 5 so far. 3 are okay and 4 are wrong. We'll just pretend they're special ones. Oh no. Okay, so I need to remember that. You know what, while some of these might be a little bit pants, I am actually feeling quite happy with the whole process, because I feel like I've got a good rhythm now of like freehand patterns and insignias. So like I mentioned, some of them are a little bit wobbly and a little bit all over the place, and they're very inconsistent, but I do feel like doing 9 of them definitely gave me enough reps to like kind of feel a bit more comfortable and get like a rhythm I like, rather than trying to go down and build it out. Actually what I like doing is going like this, like from holding the brush that way and going against towards the middle. I find that like movement quite easy, more comfortable, and I feel like I can build it out there. So yeah, while these were okay and they're not great, they're quite inconsistent and some of them are a bit whatever, I do feel like I'm starting to get a little bit somewhere with them in terms of just like the comfortability of doing them. So that's what I can work on, which I guess has been good for this. But that's all of the colours for the shoulder pads and all the decals. Some of them have got bands on them though, so this number 5 has got like a strap with some trinkets. Cool, so we'll just quickly do these 4 and then we can see where we're at. You know what, we might actually make this. So, in terms of what's left, it's just the weapons is the big main thing, and then there's a couple little details on them. So this guy's got like a little gem in his chest, and we've just done the wrappings on the shoulders. But there's also some trinkets left, and there's some wraps on some legs that I forgot about. So yeah, in terms of big details, it's just the weapons left, and then some small little details on all the leathery bits. And we've got 1 hour 54 to do them in. So you know what? This might be doable. We didn't do it all in one sitting or one session, because it absolutely fried my brain to the point of no return. But in terms of just like painting time, we might be there. Okay, so that's all the weapons done, and we got 42 minutes left, and they look rough. I'm not gonna lie, there's so many little details that are just like missing or messy, and normally it's alright because I'm like, oh, I've got time, I can tidy them all up and patch up the mistakes, but there's just so many of them, like mistakes and models. There's like 9 of these guys. I wonder if we can pull them over. Like, oh my god. There's just a blob of them. Like, some of them are okay. It's the hands and the little details. Like, this one's not too bad. But what we'll do is we'll fill in some of the little details. Like, they've got the wrappings on their legs. Some of them have got gems on their chest. And then we can do some faces and see where we're at. I think we're going to be done. Like, I think we can make it in the 42 minutes to be painted. Whether they're going to look good is a whole nother story. I don't... Like, oh, yeah, these definitely aren't my best work. So, with only 15 minutes left of this endeavour, I don't even know. My brain is fried. I want to do, it's like all the details are done. Let's grab a dude. So we've done like the belt, chest insignia, some of the highlights. This guy was dry brushed, so there's some more subtle highlights rather than the aggressive in your face Power Rangers that are these dudes. But yeah, like details you can see here on the knee. They've done the straps. Oh, I actually haven't done this guy's rune. That's fine. Or his gem. Oh wow. This is one of the problems I've had with this. There's so many, it's hard to keep track. I'm going to quickly do these guys' stuff, and then what I want to do before we tap out and give up is dry brush some Dark Reaper onto the weapons. I definitely don't have enough time to do any kind of edge highlighting, because like I said, there's only 15 minutes left, and some of them have got heads that haven't even been done. I think I've accepted defeat at this point, and I don't want to just rush some heads for the sake of doing them, because I'll get into it in the review, but one of my issues with this whole thing was, yeah, I felt like it was such a big rush, and I feel like I've butchered a lot of things. So I don't want to butcher the heads just because it's such a big thing. So we're actually just going to leave the heads, and we're going to spend these last 15 minutes just dry brushing some highlights and trying to tidy up a little bit. Oh my god, it's done. 8 hours of painting across 2 days. It's over, and wow, yeah. When I started this channel, I wanted to give like an honest review and opinion and insight into like a beginner's journey. So like someone who's just picked up the hobby, all the good things, the bad things, the things you like and don't like. And yeah, I didn't like this at all. Oh my god. I think overall, like my journey with the hobby over the last, I think 6 months now has been good. Like I've really enjoyed every aspect of it. There hasn't been any big horrible things I'm like, oh, that's bad. So all the videos have been pretty positive. But this is not positive. This was probably the worst Warhammer experience I've had. Like it took away all the things I enjoyed about the hobby. Like I like relaxing, taking my time, really focusing on details, bringing the model together. And this was like fairly rushed. I didn't have time to correct mistakes or explore little things. It's very much like just go. So yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of this. But I did learn a lot of things. Like I learned that I don't like batch painting under pressure. I don't like rushing. And I don't like just turning it into, it almost felt a little bit like a job. Like I've got tasks, like I need to do this, now I need to do this. But yeah, we'll get into the painting. Like we'll review the models and these poor boys and go through like the painting, what we did like, what we didn't like, and the actual applications. And then we'll do an outro where we talk about it a little bit more in depth, but initial first response, yeah, I didn't like that. So let's set up the review station and go over the painting. Oh, so here they are in all of their horror and all of their glory. Wow. I'm gonna be straight up, I'm not super happy with these. Like one thing I really like about Warhammer is taking my time, really like focusing on the details, making them clean and tidy, and I feel like these guys are just the opposite of that. Like, so just straight up, obviously we've missed some sections. Like we didn't manage to finish it all in the 8-hour, we'll call it challenge, because that's what it was. We tried to challenge ourselves to do it all in 8 hours. So we missed the heads on the like the faces. Like the helmets were done. You can see in the background this dude's got a helmet. We missed the faces, some of the rocks and the basing. And I realised also right at the end, I haven't done any washes. Like I've done no Agrex Earthshade and on oil. So we have missed out on a couple of things, but I don't think those things would have saved them. Because like if we switch out number 3 and grab someone with a face, so we have number 5. So like these helmets are done. And yeah, I don't think adding the washes or any of the basing would make them look any better. Like I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy with them. We'll start with some of the positives though, because there are quite a lot of negatives. I really like the shoulders. They're really, really cool on the models. I like this Death Wolf like star. I really wanted to try it out, like a different, great company, and I really like it. It's cool. I love the look of it. It's an awesome insignia, and it pairs well with like the yellow and the red. And then also speaking of the shoulders, that's one thing I feel like this challenge was good for, was getting in lots of reps with freehand shoulder patterns. So while they're not great, I do feel like I've got a good rhythm of how to do them, like a good sort of comfortable brush pattern, strokes and methods. So going forward, I feel like if I take my time, they'll be a lot better. I think that might be where the positives end, honestly. Oh, so let's just start with the big glaring one, is the edge highlighting's a mess. So like, I've got this dude, where is he? So this is a Grey Hunter I did off camera, and I took my time with it really patiently, and the edge highlights on this guy, yeah, like you can see they're white. I think they're alright, they're quite like subtle, they really make it pop a little bit because of how bright it is, so I thought, oh, I'll try the white on these guys. But I think because I was rushing, they got all over the place, they got really like bold and thick, so like they just look a bit silly, and they're just, I don't know, it's just so much white. It just looks like a state. It really looks like a mess, especially with how much there is. I don't know, maybe I put too much edge highlighting on too many armor panels, or if I was too thick with it, or if it was a combination of both, but yeah, it looks really, really messy, especially on this guy. Look at that, he's just so over the top. There's no need for this much white. On some of them it's not too bad. Like number 4 over here, it looks kind of okay. It's like a little bit like subtle, a little bit more dialed back. So that's not too bad, but maybe in the future we'll just stick with the Black Templar situation where we'll do one base layer, we'll dry brush, and then we'll put like a wash over the top. Because I quite like how that comes out on the Black Templar. I grab the Marshall. Yeah, it's like this dude I painted, like his highlights are quite subtle and like dialed back, which I quite like, especially when you compare it to how just over the top some of these guys are, like especially this one. God, it's just a bit much. So yeah, the highlights weren't great, and then just overall it's just messy. That's like my main issue. Like there's so many little sections I've either missed completely or I've gone over and I just haven't had the time to go back and fix them, because A, I'm trying to do all of them in 8 hours, and I'm trying to do like all at the same time. Like I think if I was to do this again, which I don't ever think I will, because like it's not what I enjoy about Warhammer at all, trying to like smash out loads at once. But I would probably, instead of doing like all of the base layers and then all of the shoulders and all of the weapons, I would just do like 1 mini at a time. So 1 mini in full, 1 mini in full. So it really gives me a time to like pay attention to it and focus. So overall, they're all just really messy. Like there's certain aspects on each of them that aren't fully done. Like I've just noticed here, like even now, things I didn't notice before, this guy's belt, it's just not even finished. Like it doesn't reach the belt buckle. So yeah, and all these things, because I was just sort of rushing a bit, this guy's hands, that yeah, wow. So I just get, the longer I stare at them, the worse it gets. That's just, oh yeah, I'm almost embarrassed to put these in front of the camera, to be honest. They're not great. They're just not up to the standard that I like, you know. One weird issue is, someone needs to tell me this, right? What have I done wrong here? Because let's let me find the right one. Because some of them are really, I mentioned this in the painting, but some of them are really grainy. This guy, look. Let's zoom in on his chest. I don't know if it's going to be in focus, because I don't know if it's going to focus because I used the super zoom, but like all the paint on him feels really grainy and bubbly and bumpy. Like it's not like a smooth, it's almost like sandpaper. I don't know what I've done. Have I done like too much undercoat primer or not enough, or I sprayed it the wrong way? Because I've never had this issue before, so I don't really know what I've done wrong. I feel like it's definitely an issue with the primer, because the way the paint was applying to these models wasn't great or smooth, so I've done something wrong there. I just don't know what it is, like, especially on his, like, the silver parts on his sword. It almost looks like glitter. Like, yeah, that's the way I had to describe it. It looks like when I put the paint out, like the metallics, it's all glittery, like thick. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I've done wrong. So if anyone knows what it is, tell me. Because I've never had this problem before, so I don't know if it's, yeah, too much primer, not enough, too close, too far, who knows. But yeah, these were just, oh my god, problem after problem after problem. Oh my god, it's done. Yeah, that was interesting. So the reason why I did this was because I thought it'd be fun to challenge myself, right? I always do little things at a time, like maybe 1 or 2, try small little improvements, but I thought, you know what, it'd be fun to get out of that comfort zone and really try something new. And let me tell you something, I want to go back into that comfort zone. I don't want to do that ever again. That was way too much. Like I saw people on YouTube doing things like, can I paint this army in 24 hours? Or like box to battle challenges, like just basically being like, how quickly can I do this thing and like get it done? And I thought, you know what, maybe I can do that. Maybe I've got the skills to kind of do something like that. No, I don't. I'm not there yet. So it was definitely quite a humbling experience, but in a good way. It gave me perspective to see where I'm at in the hobby, where I need to improve, and my skill level. So while I didn't really enjoy it, and the end result was bad, like I just don't like the models, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, like I've been saying, I don't want to be too negative in these videos, but I also want to be honest. I really don't like those guys. So what I might do with them in the future is literally just strip them and start again. But yeah, and going forward, I definitely need a break. Actually, this is the first time I've finished. I'm like, I don't want to paint anymore. So I'm going to edit this video, which I think these videos are good for, because then I finish painting and I get to like edit these videos for a day or two, and that kind of lets that wave settle, and then that motivation to come back to like, oh, I kind of want to paint again. So that's actually quite good. So I will edit this video for a few days and then let that settle. And then what I definitely want to do is like one big model, because yeah, that's what I enjoy doing. So let's look at this box. What do we got? There's the battle leader that looks quite cool, but I did just do a head taker. Maybe the wolf priest? I wanted to save the wolf priest till for last because it's my favourite looking model. Like out the box, I look at it and that's the one that stands out as, oh, that's the coolest looking thing. So I did want to save that till last, but I've just done a head taker, so I'm like, I don't really want to do another one. And the battle leader's kind of like a head taker. I mean, there is the pack leaders for these guys, so maybe, I don't know, we'll pick something. But it will be like one big model, either like a pack leader, the wolf priest, or maybe like the Grey Hunter and Bloodclaw like leaders, I don't know. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, I didn't. But if you did, drop a like and subscribe and tune in next time. Oh, thank you. Bye.